Because those who told you that it is okay for a man to sleep with a woman as long as they are going to marry each other, you understand why it is wrong now. Listen, if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. So under the law, the commandment is, if a man entices a maid, it means they got involved in a love affair and then it ended up into sexual intercourse. He didn't force the maid, he enticed the maid, he loved the maid, so to speak. He fell in love with the maid and the maid fell in love with him. Then you must marry the woman. There was no punishment for this violation of right conduct. Because you have slept with her, you must marry her. Now, verse 17 says, if a father utterly refuses to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. So if you sleep with a woman and the woman probably comes to tell his father, a certain man has slept with me, and because of that, you need to do what is necessary so that he can marry me. But probably the father meets the man and is like, no, I will not give my daughter to you. Or the father feels offended and says, to punish my daughter, you will not marry this man. Now you understand why it is a punishment when we get to Deuteronomy chapter 22. So if the man refuses the daughter from marrying the man, the Bible says the man still owes the dowry of the virgins. So there is a dowry of the virgins that the man still owes, whether you marry the lady or not. You are a debtor to pay the dowry of the virgins. All right, please keep that in your left hand. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 22. If any man takes a wife and go in unto her and hates her, so you married a woman properly and legally, and you hated the woman for no reason. Now, this is under the law, right? And bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. So this man married his wife, so to speak. Perhaps the council were not there when he got married to the man. But then he didn't want the woman again. And he wants to ridicule her and ridicule her father's house. So he tells the council that this woman, when I married her, she wasn't a virgin. Now listen, because those who told you that it is okay for a man to sleep with a woman as long as they are going to marry each other, you understand why it is wrong now. The Bible says in verse 15, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother shall take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. Now, there is something called the dowry of the virgins in Jewry. There is also something called the token of the damsel's virginity. What is the token of the damsel's virginity? This will help you to understand why it was not even a law in Jewry. God did not even give them a commandment that young people do not sleep with one another, because they already have a culture that inhibits the possibility of such affair because of what is called the token of virginity. Now you need to understand the marriage rights of the Jews to understand what is called the token of the damsel's virginity. So there is something in the custody of the father and the mother that is called the token of her virginity. So when the husband comes and say that I found that my wife was not a virgin when I married her, the parents of the bride are expected to produce the token of her virginity. Otherwise,